Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. Welcome to another exciting, powerful episode of Newspaper Review on Blacqtv at our stand, Ojaya stand, Ojuelegba. You know how we dey do am. You know how it's been done. Get a cup of coffee. Let me get my paper. I will be right back. Welcome back. I hope you've gotten your cup of coffee. So to start with, the very first paper we are starting with today is the Punch. The Punch newspaper. Aisha's ADC escort commander Royd Cobbs may face panel this week. Security breach to top ID. Management teams meet today. DSS operative attached to Buhari nephew fire shot. And you can see the touching story of the bridge that collapsed in Ilorin. One died, two missing as car plugged into Kwara River. Nigerian crosses 16,000 mark. Gombe top with 73 COVID-19 cases. Lagos woman allegedly assaulted by expatriate. Lovers cries for help. Still on the Punch newspaper, Buhari orders condole with Ighodalo as wife die. APC Gov to meet Buhari. Obaseki consults Wike, Kwara River governor. I think that's what we have on the Punch newspaper this morning. So moving on to our next paper for today, which is Vanguard. Vanguard newspaper. Another headline says revised 2020 budget still in trouble despite the raising oil price. Aso Rock shooting. Buhari orders investigation. Insecurity in North. Presidency Northern elders at war. COVID-19 doctors, parents, teachers caution FD against opening of schools. Black Saturday. Boko Haram ISWAP attack leave 60 dead in Borno. That's all we have on our newspaper headline today. Let me get my reviewers. I will be right back. Please stay tuned.
Well, I think Obaseki's move had been decided a long time ago.
Okay.
He already knew that he will be screened out based on the headlines we saw last week.
Okay.
You can see from his moves already that he has already met with Wike, who is a strong member of the PDP.
Okay.
After which he went to Udom, the governor of Akwa Ibom. So these are all principal members of the PDP. So it is evident that his next move will be to join the PDP. Well, personally, to me, and based on my little knowledge of politics in this country, that is the best move he can make. Because the party he wants to go under, which is the APC, has said we don't want to. And Obaseki, being who he is, the little I know about him, he's a very stubborn politician or a very stubborn man, stubborn businessman, let me put it that way. So him deciding to join the PDP is only to boost his chances. And I think that is the best he can do right now, personally. I think that is the best move Obaseki can make. If I were these people, for the sake of the party, they say the party interest should supersede your personal interest. Edo State, so PDP wants to win Edo State, and they will do anything it takes to win Edo State. So if I see that Obaseki stands a better chance of winning the state, then I would simply step down. If I were to be one of the aspirants, so I'm sure as it is now, the APC, they are already thinking of their next move. The same way the PDP too are devising their next move. So at the end of the day, the APC will have the federal might, as you put it, to play, and these people will have the local might. Because trust me, Obaseki has the backing of the people.
The Edo people.
Of the Edo people. As at last week, all the local government chairmen in the states gave their support to Obaseki, meaning that he has the support of the grassroots. So it will be a battle of the federal against the local. I'm not surprised, but I'm just a bit saddened that would take 1 or 2 lives. Most of our roads these days are bad. So let me not use the word bad. They are in a state of disrepair, basically. So I just feel that it was bound to happen.
But does it have to get to this extent before they now be thinking of how to repair the road?
That's the Nigeria factor for you. We always wait for a calamity to happen before we find a solution. Nigeria has a very bad maintenance record. Check most of our roads or most of our districts. We do not have the ability or the capacity to maintain. We always believe that when the road gets spoiled, we'll repair it. And that is what happened here. they had to wait for the bridge to collapse before they now start looking for. Even yesterday, I was hearing over the news when one of the I don't know what they call them over there, whether in Lagos they can say we call them Lamata, one of their road safety. He was saying that there is another road about 2 kilometers away from this one that has almost the same problem. You are still waiting until something like that happens before you go there. Why don't you go and fix that? Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is Nigeria for you. You always wait for things to collapse and get spoiled before we now start looking for ways.
Obaseki. Look, I say I called the name 3 times. Yes. Let me tell you something. Politics is a dirty game. And as I've said earlier, that he who live in glass house don't trust to. You can see that it's all about politics. Let me start from the screening committee. Obaseki has been screened. And the screening committee is still giving an option that you can still appeal against the decision of the screening committee. If Obaseki himself know that he is not having any debts in his cupboard, I expect him to appeal against the decision of the screening committee. But politics, as we are saying, is a dirty game. From initial beginning of this problem, Obaseki himself knows that he's guilty, because when Obaseki was calling in 2015, you understand me? There are many better candidates than Obaseki in Edo State. Many better candidates than Obaseki in Edo State. When Obaseki was when he won it, when Oshomole said he won the ticket of APC, you understand me? Many other better candidates. But Oshomole insists that Obaseki will succeed him. When this man succeed him, you understand me? Not quite after 6 months, there is a problem with the Oshomole version and Obaseki version. What happened between Oshomole and Obaseki is not an issue of godfatherism. Okay. It's the issue of doing what is right. In the history of Nigeria, go and check. Obaseki inaugurated Edo Assembly 2 p.m. midnight with 9 members. Obaseki told Obaseki, go and do what is right. That is the beginning of the goal. This is not the issue of godfatherism. Oshomole never asked for commissioner for me, never asked him for money. But Oshomole told him, Obaseki, go and do what is right. By inaugurating Edo Assembly by 2 p.m. in the midnight. That is the genesis of the problem. So the issue of godfatherism is not the issue we are talking about. It's the issue of Obaseki doing what is right. If you follow the history, why would a governor, you know what I mean, inaugurate an assembly 2 p.m. midnight? Is it in our constitution? 14 out of the was not inaugurated up to, as I'm talking to you now. You are now saying issue of godfatherism. Oshomole told me, Obaseki, go and do what is right. Inaugurate Edo Assembly, broad daylight, let people see. This is not the issue of godfatherism. For those people who doesn't really know the antecedents that happened in those states. Thank you very much. You are right. I could remember 2 consecutive times a reconciliation committee has been called to resolve the matter between Obaseki and Oshomole, which Obaseki said he doesn't have confidence on the committee sets. So that is us. I know, my brother. You see, the issue of Obaseki, the coming to PDP, is Obaseki's problem. But in as much as I'm concerned, by 22nd of this March, our great party will have their primary in absence of who he is. Yes, I mean, and our flag bearers will be, you know, let Obaseki go anywhere you want, and anybody here can even flag a party and give him tickets to contest on the part of the party. But that what I just believe is that Nigerians should understand one thing. When you come to a newspaper stand, you people just try and read paper, listen to news, know what is happening in your environment before you can talk in the public. This is an issue. This issue is not an issue of godfatherism. It's an issue of Obaseki doing what is right. When I was watching on TVC, I believe it's a neglect of the past governor in that state. It has shows that Kwara have suffered a lot of neglect many years. I couldn't imagine seeing a bridge constructed with a substandard product. Now that Kwara is on the right track, they have the right governor now. Who is there now? The governor, I know, with what happened at Nigeria, the governor will take action and many things will put in order in Kwara State.
I want to first know what is the reason of his disqualification from APC. Is it based on that certificate saga? If it's based on that certificate issue, then going to PDP, there is still an hindrance for him, because the same being used against him. Now, if he now went ahead, go ahead now and join the PDP and become their aspirants. Now, assumption that he wins the election, do you know that they can still use that same thing that disqualified him, being an APC gubernatorial candidate? They can still use it against him in the nearest future. In politics, when you steal a friend, then everything about you is right. But when you become an enemy, then other things will come out from it. You see, these people cannot just pick you to come and become a governor, an office. They know that one way or the other you have something hidden. Yeah, you understand? So it's only when you step on toes they will now use that to withhold you. It's not just in Nigeria, it happens everywhere. So you are getting that. I can take you to issue of FIFA. Then both Sepp Blatter and UEFA president there, which is Platini, Michel Platini. You understand? They knew that these two guys have been taking bribe, but until when they now step on toes, which America is the major sponsor of FIFA. Yes, they have 3 major. Coca-Cola is there and all that. But when they now want to take them out, they use that to take them out. When they know that even if any 2 countries are fighting to host a tournament, it is the bid of their money. You understand? And then they collect bribe from them to say, okay, you will be the host of the next tournament. So you understand? But thereafter, when they know that Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini have stepped on toes by giving Russia and then Qatar. You understand? And these 2 countries are enemy to America. You can imagine that even the way politics is still go on, US refused to qualify for Russia 2018. This is politics. It's going on everywhere. I can even tell you on and on. If Obaseki in the last 4 years could not say, oh, you are 40 of your results whatsoever, it's because he has not stepped on toes.
So now you are stepping on toes.
Well, like the other man, then when you were interviewed, said it all. Do you understand? And I also support that motion because for 4 good years, these people asked a Senate president, what is he fighting for? How come nobody has come? The governor that was there for 8 good years. Do you understand? Now this governor that just coming is just a year, and then maybe he has been fighting for it. You understand? In the house. And I could recall, it's not that I'm trying to support this present day. Do you understand? But I'm trying to tell you that, for you to get something done in Nigeria, it must have take you ages fighting for that thing.
That same thing.
Yeah, you understand? For you to now get.
Well, sorry to call. Is it supposed to be so? Because this is where motorists pass through almost every day.
Yes, that's why I'm accusing the previous government, the governor then, likewise the Senate president that was from that place, which is Saraki. Now, the governor then is not an independent person. This issue of godfatherism, so you understand? Like I said, this is a governor that has been slapped by this same Senate president.
Okay.
Sure, you are getting out. So how a whole Senate president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria could not look into the disadvantage or things that are going wrong in his domain,
in his own hometown?
You can imagine. So to tell you that these people, they are just there, they are not there for the people, they are only there for themselves. So whenever that's why I always come here. Whenever we accuse the executive, what about our legislature? Are they doing the right thing? Are they fighting for the right thing? Are they doing the right thing? Even our judiciary. So every institution in Nigeria is having problem. So we need to rectify all this. Now look at the new Senate president now. He maybe the place he came from now, he has not even done anything in that area.
Yes, they just appoint him as Senate president.
Oh, you understand now? But this guy, for 8 years, he was governor of Kwara State. For 4 years, even before that 4 years, he has been Senate before becoming Senate president. You know, for governor for 8 years, he was there. Then a senator for 4 years. Then a Senate president for another 4 years. Sure, you are getting that.
That's roughly, let's say, 12 years, 12 good years in power.
So now, when you now check at all those years, how come he has not done anything concerning that place? So that's why I'm saying now that the new governor now, we have an excuse, just like Sanwo-Olu now taking over Ambode. When people are now saying, since when Sanwo-Olu has entered, now say come. The 2019 budget did not go to Sanwo-Olu. The 2019 budget was with Ambode. So it is when the 2020 budget now come in place, then you can now say, okay, this is my area of development, this is what I need to be doing. So you can now start this. If not because of the issue of the pandemic that come thereafter, I believe they would have gone some other things doing.
In Asoro, there are a lot of things that is going on that they don't bring to the public notice. And this has been causing issues. Even I will say that the president himself is not helping matter. You see, the way he handle his family affair. You see, in every leader, you must look for time to reconcile family issue with leadership issue. If you cannot reconcile these two together, there will be problem. You remember the utterances he made concerning his wife, that he knows his wife in the other room and the kitchen. Yes. So all these kind of things in the public, as a public servant, it's not good. Because let us even look at the pedigree of the kind of woman he married. You understand? She's a doctor. She's well educated. She's exposed. So for you to come to the public and say such things,
that she belongs to the other room.
You see, is not good. And I can say that some member of his cabinet is taking advantage of all these things against his wife. Why shooting in Asoro? Because some people are feeling that some members are feeling that after the death of Abakari, she's growing wing. You get it? She's growing wing because Abakari is the only person that was checkmating her, curtailing her to an extent. There was an issue concerning First Lady office, not in the constitution or whatever. You see, these are things that giving some people power to undermining the First Lady's office, which is not supposed to be. Cause nephew to undermining the First Lady's power is uncalled for. Because the president himself, which is the husband of the First Lady, has already undermined her. That is why people are taking advantage. That is just the summary. You see, in Nigeria, we don't have leader. Yes, we have politicians, but we don't have leaders. Saraki, being the Senate president for 4 years, a governor for 8 years, and I can say that maybe during that governorship era, maybe one or two things he might have done one or two things. But being a Senate president, he has never been influential. Yes, his authority and his power has not been reflecting in the state, being a Senate president. You remember the upper robbery? Yes, to an extent, there was
something that linked to him about the news before they swept the news under the carpet.
Under the carpet, yes, his vehicle was among the vehicle that was used for the robbery incident, all those kind of things. So Saraki, being a Senate president, being a governor, yes, he tried his best, if not 100%, considering the resources they have on ground for the state. You know, Kwara State is not some other states that are wealthy in terms of resources. Yes, so he tried, but as a Senate president, no. Come to the issue of the bridge, it's uncalled for. Just like in Lagos State now, let's even use Ojo Elegba, that this kind of bridge, this is a major bridge. You look at this bridge till it fall or it collapse. That is what we are saying about leader. We don't have leader. We have only politicians. It is bad. It is a pit. In fact, the soul of the people that lost their life, I pray, will rest in peace. We don't have leader. And Kwara is becoming so unfortunate on their part that they don't produce good leader. The political crisis here and there, from one godfatherism to the other, one is fighting against each other, brother is fighting against his sister. It's a pity. I pray that one day they will get it right someday. Yes, it's a little bit too late. There was a time PDP was approaching to decamp. It would have better if at all it decamped that time. But for now, you see, the issue of certificate and some other issue that has brought against him has really cast a lot of doubt on the PDP side. That if we should accept this guy to carry our flag, what will be our fate in the courts, since this kind of issue has been alleged against him? So I think it's a little bit too late for him, but it is a pity. I personally want him to go for the second term and rule, but Oshomole is not helping matter, because throughout the 4 years it has been one story or the other. It never allow him to rule peacefully. It's a pity, and that is one of the things where the masses are now talking about in the country, that give a democracy a free hand to operate. You see, in Nigeria, I said earlier that we don't have leader, we have politicians. And in politics, according to Niccolo Machiavelli, you can lie, you can do all sorts of things to consolidate yourself in power. So that is the theory they are applying. And come to the issue of godfatherism. You see, in everywhere, if you read a book called Mafia Management, you will understand the role of Godfather and Godson. You understand? All over the world, there are godfathers. But it must be on a liberal ground, the grand player. You understand? It's like a backbone that if the godson needs you, he run up to you for advice. And secondly, godfatherism in Nigeria is not the same in the Western world. In Western world, godfatherism is all about ideas, idea tussle. You understand? This is my ideology. I mean, this is an ideology. This is a movement of ideology. It's a movement of ideology. Okay, how can we reconcile it? My own is better, your own is better. I'm a godfather, you are a godson. Fine. This is my approach to a certain issue. As a godson, this is my own approach to a certain issue.
Let's meet in the middle.
Let's meet in the middle. You understand? That is how godfather and godson supposed to be. But in Nigeria, it's all about winner take all. Yes, I put you in power. If you are governed, you must give me so amount. That is not how godfatherism is played in the Western world. And I wonder how the people that call themselves politicians that travel to abroad on a daily basis, coming back to Nigeria and practicing different things altogether. In America, there are godfatherism. You understand? In UK, the same thing. But it must be based on idea, not a physical war, not to take tout to go and assassinate one person or the other. That is not how godfatherism supposed to play out.
Thank you for staying tuned. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Newspaper Review. Till I come your way next time, please follow us on all our social media handles at Blacqtv, BLACQ, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Blacqtv. And you can join us here live Monday, Friday at Ojaya Stand, Ojuelegba Under Bridge to hear your own views. Thank you. Till I come your way. Bye-bye.